So I just recently read something by a guy named Michael Green that said, dig this, the new poverty line is $140,000 per household. Are we still playing this game? Are we still playing this game of telling people you're not making enough? You need to go out and work hard to chase this American dream? Are we just blind to the fact of the American dream is dead? The way to build wealth in 2025 is completely different. The money game had changed, but for some particular reason, they want us to continue to chase this American dream where now we need to make $140,000 in our household to just be part of the American dream. And what is the American dream? Having Amazon subscriptions and buying all the crap you want on Amazon, or being able to have so many TV services in your household, or to be able to go to these expensive gyms, go on vacation, buy a house you can't afford. That right there is the American dream. And in order to sustain that, you need to make $140,000 a year, which when I heard that, I was like, that number is extremely insane. Why? Because 77% of society makes below $140,000 in the household. Let me repeat that. 77% make below the $140,000, which is the new poverty line. So, with that being said, 77% of society is poor. And of course, when you hear that number, people just lost their mind. They just completely lost their mind because there's an emotional aspect to it. Since 77% of the people are not making $140,000, well, guess what? Now 77% of society feels like they're losers and they're not making it. That is not true. You do not need to make $140,000 to be considered successful. You don't. Or to even, not even successful, I take that back, to not even be considered poor. That's insane. Because there's some people right now that's watching this video that makes at least $60,000 or $50,000 and they're doing well. Why they're doing well? Because they learn how to live below their means. And they understand the money game has completely changed. Now, what I mean by that, you see, the money game used to be you get a 9 to 5 at the age of 20 and you work as hard as you can, and then you can retire at the age of 60. Simple as that. You might get a pension, or you might just put a little bit of money into your 401k, and that is enough. And for majority of people, it's buying a house as well. And then at the age of 45, 50, close to 60s, you sell it because you have all that equity within your home. But you need to continue to work a 9 to 5, continue to be loyal to the company, and do all those things, and everything will work out. Well, in 2025, that's not the case. You see, right now, everyone is working so hard just to survive. A luxury life is not an option for so many people. So many people are working and it's strictly on survival mode. Nothing more, nothing else. They're not buying luxurious things. Some people out there are. Some people are blowing all their money on luxurious things because they feel like they deserve it. But a majority of people now are really upset and really stressed out because a majority of their money is going to just surviving. As simple as that. And in 2025, that cannot be the case. It cannot be the case. You have to try to figure out a side hustle. Sitting in your job, hoping and praying they're going to give you, the raise that you deserve is not going to happen. But you need to get a side hustle. And the reason why you need to get a side hustle and increase your income is not to be above the whole poverty line. No, it's to be able to get out of this rat race as quick as possible and hit financial freedom. And the reason why you want to hit financial freedom, the reason why I do, is not strictly to have all this money and be able to do all the things I want to do in the American dream. No, the reason why I want it is for time freedom. You see, the number one thing that we all want in life really is the ability to do the things that we want to do. As simple as that. The amount of money you make will help you get there quicker if you manage it well. If you're saving, you're investing, living below your means, and not listening to all this nonsense saying how much money you need to make. Don't let people dictate and tell you how much money you need to make. We're all different. Personal finance is completely different. That's why that $140,000 is just completely insane. Because someone living in California or New York might laugh at that number. compared to someone living in, let's say, Mississippi or a smaller town. They might say, shoot, you give me $140,000, I'm chilling. Like, life is awesome. That amount of money is different in other places. That's why, if you ask me, the best way to judge how you're doing financially is how much a percent of your money, like your rent, or mortgage, your car payment, groceries, how much of that is being deducted from your paycheck. For example, if you have 80% of all of that going to your paycheck, then you're struggling. The percent wise is extremely critical, not this ridiculous arbitrary number that's being made up. But guys, we need to wake up to this. That when I see stuff like this, the first thing I think about is, what is the goal? What is the goal of saying $140,000 is poverty? Besides the fact of someone's trying to go viral, right? I get it. And I would tell you this, that $140,000, it does sound like, yo, that's ridiculous. $140,000, then everyone is poor. But I get the gist of it, of saying how expensive things are. But man, we have to open up our eyes and recognize we cannot allow society to dictate what we should be doing with our finances and what our standards are. Yes, the prices of homes are expensive. Yes, the price of rent is high. Yes, the price of groceries is high. There's a lot of things that's high. But guys, that's where you need to understand the game that's trying to be played towards you, and saying $140,000 is the poverty line. All that's going to do is make you feel miserable and make you feel like, you know what, what's the point of all of this? So you would do nothing about it, which a majority of people in society want you to do. Society wants you to keep on working, right? Keep on working and just being like, you know what, this is what it is. You don't invest, you don't save, you just work. While people like me and other people who save and invest, most likely in the company you're working for, are benefiting off that. Ownership is the name of the game. That is the new money game, is ownership. Taking the money you have left over every month and owning assets. S&P 500, index funds, owning some assets is going to be the only way you're going to build wealth. And when I say owning assets, I'm not talking about chasing these highly inflated prices of homes. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about investing in stocks, ETFs, mutual funds. Investing in assets is the only way you're going to get out of this whole nonsense that's happening right now in society. Take a look around, man. Everyone right now is struggling, but everyone got a house. Everyone right now is struggling, but the average used car payment is $550 and the new car payment is $750. Take a look around. Everyone's car is getting repoed. Everyone's house is getting foreclosed on. Is that what you really want? Is that the life that you want? A life that you cannot afford, but is easily accessible to you, right? You want to get a mortgage and 30 years is too much. Now they're offering 50. 50-year mortgages is what they're offering because they want you trapped in this system. And you can't fall for that. That's why Gen Zs right now are just losing their mind. Like, this is just ridiculous. And they're smart. I get motivated by Gen Z because they recognize this damn system, this path that everyone followed in the past doesn't exist. I need to create a whole new path, which is trying businesses, seeing what happens. Because man, if you strike it at a young age and you do not need to have to work a 9 to 5 in order to survive, that's awesome. And even if you do have to work a 9 to 5, I'm not trying to poo-poo on that. Even if you do work a 9 to 5, at least you know you're trying to do all the things to get you out of that situation. And yes, you might work a 9 to 5 as well. You might enjoy it, but there's a difference between working a 9 to 5 because you enjoy it rather than working a 9 to 5 because you have to. You're trying to chase this American dream with all these liabilities that you cannot afford: student loan, credit card debt, buy now, pay later, a house you can't afford, a car you can't afford. You're trying to trying to just go to work just to maintain a lifestyle that you cannot sustain. That you cannot sustain for such a very long time. And now they want to tell you they're moving the carrot, right? Work harder. If you want to be able to not be considered poor, $140,000. Are you kidding me? There's so many people who retired who are making less than that because they live below their means. And that is just the key to all of this. And when I seen that, man, I really just lost my mind. I was like, this is just ridiculous, right? It's like, it's bad enough everything is so expensive, and now they want to tell us you're poor as well. Poor. I mean, that I even hate using the word poor because it's derogatory to someone that makes $20,000 or even below that is truly poor. to say $140,000 is a new poverty line is pure ridiculous. But guys, drop a comment down below. You let me know how you feel. What are the things that you're doing to get away from this nonsense? And you changing the money game for you to build wealth. I would love to hear it. At the same time, hit the like, leave a comment, and subscribe. Catch you all in my next video. Peace.